Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be talking about 14 different indoor activities that you can do with your children this winter 2021. A lot of you have reached out to me, JD, can you please help us? We don't know what to do with our children indoors. A lot of you are homeschooling, and once your kids are done with homeschooling, you just don't know what to do. And a lot of you mentioned that you really don't want to have screens on for your children all day long, and you want to find activities for your children. And so today I'm going to share with you the things that I do with my kids. So for the most part, my kids are screen free throughout the week. So I have activities for my children that really keep them engaged that I want to share with you guys because it has really worked out really well for us. So I'm going to go ahead and start talking about the activities now. Anything that I mentioned in the video is going to be linked in the description box below the video. So let's get started with most of our favorite indoor activities. And now keep in mind that these are just some, but there's just so many. So if you guys want me to make more of these videos, I can to give you more ideas. So let's start with number one. Number one we have is Legos. My children absolutely love Legos, and this is a favorite in my home. We usually have our Legos in these bins, and we put them on the table, and the kids have their own little space to create whatever it is that they want. And this is really like a days long activity. So it takes a few days for them to build whatever they're building. Legos are great because it helps children use their creativity to create a scene, an object, or an item. And I love it because Legos truly are a form of art. My children usually use it to create their own scenes without instructions. And the dramatic play that follows right after that with the characters and the accessories is just beautiful. I love it, and it's one of their favorite things to do. I see so much self-expression in each creation, and Legos has other benefits such as fine motor development. They have to make something out of these tiny little pieces. They also have to use their critical thinking skills and spatial awareness to be able to build in 3D. So Legos has a lot of great benefits for children. After they are done, I usually display their creations on top of a shelf for a week or so, and then I put them away. I really like keeping what they've created because it takes them such a long time to create these things, and they just feel so proud to be able to see what they have created for some time there on the shelf on display. The next activity that I provide for my children on a weekly basis is sewing and embroidery. And I usually have a basket with weekly projects for my children that they do every week. For the project, sometimes it's just a one-day project. Some projects take multiple days to finish. Sewing is a great life skill for all children to have, and learning it is going to help them develop self-sufficiency, confidence, and I think sewing also helps children with patience. It helps them develop focus and concentration as they work on their projects. There is also a great deal of attention to detail that is needed when sewing. And I think attention to detail is a skill that we all need in all areas in life. So I think sewing is a great activity for children to do, and it works on those fine motor skills. For the project that we did this past week, we used an embroidery hoop, and they were embroidering their names. My oldest made a Christmas tree ornament for the tree. So just every week I provide different things. There's so many ideas. And if you guys want me to do activities with sewing and embroidery, I will do it on my channel. Just let me know in the comments on my community tab. Let's go on to the next activity. The next activity I have is an indoor sandbox. And my children, I have had an indoor sandbox since my first child. And it has been a great activity because I take it out in the winters, and my children love it. They get to use their imagination with the sand as they build scenarios with toys, plastic animals, with blocks. But there are rules when using our sandbox. I don't just let the kids go and make a huge mess with the sandbox. I have rules, so I tell them only 2 children at a time using the sandbox, and the sand stays inside the sandbox, right? Those are the rules. They can only play inside of the sandbox if I am there to supervise. They know now not to spill the sand outside of the box, and they have learned to use the sandbox with care. It is just like anything else. You can teach children to use anything. It's just a matter of holding them accountable. It's been a great activity for the winter months. Like I said, I usually put it away in the summer. My kids absolutely love playing with it, from the smallest to the oldest. And it keeps them busy for a really long time. I love seeing my little ones play together in there. And it's a very soothing activity. It has like a very soothing effect on them. The next activity that I also provide every week for my children is drawing and painting tutorials. So all of my children have a drawing journal, and I provide tutorials for them that I find on YouTube. And they really enjoy learning all of the different techniques for drawing or using watercolor. And it's an easy way for children to learn how to draw and how to use watercolors. I also allow them to create their own paintings from imagination. So we alternate between tutorials and using their own creations and making their own creations. So if you're looking for an easy activity, look into drawing tutorials from YouTube channels such as the Art Hub and other creators right here on YouTube. Get a journal for your children, and they are absolutely going to love it. And the most beautiful thing is that at the end of the year, if you do this every week, once a week, they're going to have a collection of artwork that they have created that they can keep as a keepsake. The next activity that my children love doing every week is pottery and sculpting, hand building. They love it. And we use different types of clay. This has been one of the best hobbies that we have discovered for our children. And this week we were working with air dry clay. We work with different types of clay. Kids will work on these clay projects for hours. First they sculpt it, then they sand it, then they fix any irregularities in it, and then they paint it at the end. It's a multiple day project. Sculpting has a soothing and calming effect on children. I don't know why, but it does. It is not only a skill that they are learning, which is valuable. It is also working on increasing their focus and concentration as they work on the details. It really takes a lot of concentration to work with clay. And at the end, they have these beautiful creations, beautiful works of art that they have created, and that they can wait for them to dry out to then sand and paint. My children have absolutely loved it. We actually worked on a workshop for you guys with polymer clay if you want to teach your children to work with polymer clay. And I'll link that workshop below. Me and my eldest had such a blast creating that tutorial for you. The next wonderful activity that my children love and that we really have been using for years with our kids is just simple blocks and animals. Blocks are so open-ended, and they're gender neutral, they're ageless. Blocks and animals. Kids from all ages can create and play with these. They can build different scenarios and castles and animal habitats. The possibilities are endless. Children have an opportunity to express their creativity, to create from imagination anything that they would like. And what comes after their creations is that they get to pretend play, and they get to enact the different stories. And it's really beautiful seeing children create with blocks and animals. I really love it. And we have used the Melissa and Doug blocks for many years since my children were like so little. I think I got just the first set when my first child was like 8 months. And then we got the rainbow stacker, and then we've been collecting plastic animals for so many years. And this has been a toy that they just don't get bored of. And it's been like a toy that they use in so many different ways. All of my children love it. And I highly recommend for you to have blocks and animals in your home. It will really keep your children entertained. Another one that my little boy and all my girls even love is cars. Regardless of age, kids love cars. And it's really an activity that all kids love regardless of gender. So I got this racetrack for free at a church. Someone was getting rid of it, and my little boy has been loving it, especially him. And he's been loving it. And I got so many cars from different friends that gifted us cars. And he loves playing with the cars, lining them up and creating different scenarios. The possibility with cars are endless. When we are done with the cars, we usually put it away in the closet and they're ready to play for the next time. That's one thing that I do. I like keeping things organized. So when the kids are done playing with something, I categorize them. I put them in a little bin and I put it away in the closet. So it's ready to play for the next time. And I rotate things out. I don't just leave everything out because that just creates mess. And that is the best way to do it, to just put it away and then bring it back out. And it's brand new to the children. Another thing that really keeps my children busy every week is playing their instruments. So as part of our homeschool, all of our children are required to learn an instrument. And so we have a child that plays piano, we have two that play violin, and they spend hours a week practicing their instruments. They take lessons online with a teacher, but you can also find lessons on YouTube for free of charge. I have met many children who have taught themselves to play an instrument, and it's a wonderful thing to play an instrument because it teaches children perseverance, patience, discipline, attention, and focus. Playing an instrument can do so much to boost cognitive abilities, and I really love being able to help my children learn an instrument. So I highly recommend that you get your children to learn how to play an instrument, whether you have a teacher or whether you do things for free on YouTube, which you can find so much stuff for free on YouTube. The next activity that my children love is playing kitchen or restaurant or shop. So I have this little box, this little plastic box with play kitchen items such as stoves and microwaves and play food and so on. And so whenever my kids want to play with it, I bring it out and they set up like a little restaurant, a little shop, all types of scenarios. The last scenario that they set up was a pretend play birthday party that they had for one of their siblings, where they made cake and gave them gifts. It's so funny to see how pretend play takes place with children and how they use their imaginations every time. It's so funny because my 2-year-old boy, he's making a car pie. So he's putting like all his little cars inside of a little container and putting it in the microwave and making a car pie. So their imagination just takes off. And this is possible when you provide things like this, like play kitchen items. And when they're done playing with it, everything, the beauty of it is that everything fits back in a box, in that same box that I had it, and I put it back in the closet and it's ready to play for the next time. So it's a wonderful thing. Just keep rotating different activities for the children and they're going to keep busy. The next one that my children have absolutely loved to do indoors is dance flags. They absolutely love them. They create their own designs in the air with them. They also make their own dance routines. They run around like crazy with them and have so much fun. I will link these below in the description box of the video so that you can know where to get them. My kids have absolutely loved playing with them, and I think it's a great indoor activity. The next thing that my kids absolutely love is our swing trapeze. Oh goodness, they love this thing. My children not only use it to just swing themselves and play, but they use it as a form of exercise every day. They have learned a few moves and routines on the trapeze, and it is very entertaining for them. They love it. It keeps them working out every day. And I have seen them and enjoyed seeing them create their own moves on the trapeze, and it's been absolutely fantastic. I will link below in the description of the video where we got the base and also the swing. So if you're interested in setting it up in your home, I thought it was an easy way to set up because it was just the base that we bought for relatively inexpensive, and also you don't have to drill anything in the walls. And my kids are absolutely loving it. And there's just so many moves you can do on this thing. It's absolutely amazing. I love it. The next activity that my children absolutely love is PlayDoh. And I make my own PlayDoh at home. It's much better than store-bought PlayDoh. It's softer. I can make so much in bulk. I can make all different colors that I want. And then when we're done playing with it, we put them back in the Ziploc bag. We put them in a little container and put them in the refrigerator. When we want to play with them, we bring it out. We put a little drop or two of water or essential oils, and they're ready to play with it. And my kids truly enjoy playing with Play-Doh. It's a really soothing activity. They use cookie cutters. They create all types of things from their imagination. They just love the feel of it and squishing it. And it's just, all kids, I think it's a classic thing that, is going to go on for generations to come. Play-Doh. All kids absolutely love Play-Doh. And it's just so fun. When they're done playing with it, we put it back into the refrigerator and it's ready for the next time to play with. The next activity that my kids do every week is indoor gymnastics. This has been an absolute favorite in my home. So my kids learn moves from YouTube and also from an online school that we are a part of. So we set up these mats on the floor and my kids follow tutorials, and they're also part of an online school. And gymnastics is a great sport because it requires dedication, again, perseverance, discipline, concentration. It helps mold their characters in so many ways. And it also keeps them healthy and fit. I think it's a great exercise. And it's a great thing for all children to be flexible and to be fit and healthy. So I really recommend indoor gymnastics for all of your children. And another thing that I want to suggest is not only staying indoors in your home, but going out on field trips. So we take field trips at least once a month with the kids. We take them to museums or to indoor learning spaces. And I think it's a great way for kids to learn about different areas in an experience that they will treasure. So I really recommend to get out and find museums, find indoor learning spaces for your children and take them out to these places. It's a great thing to do in the winter months. And lastly, what I want to mention is that you don't have to feel the pressure of always having to entertain your children. They will do it themselves. All you have to do is shut down the screens. In our home, we only have cartoons and movies and things like that in the weekend. So during the week, children really have to do things on their own and use their imagination and creativity to create with whatever they have available. So my kids, they build huts and they play dress up. And they do all types of things, and most of the time it's not with a toy that I have bought them, it's with their own imaginations. Just the other day, they made up a nativity out of a cardboard, and they were playing with old Bible costumes that I created a while ago, and they had hours and hours of pretend play. So just keep in mind that children don't need to be constantly entertained. They will create something out of nothing. They will create stuff out of cardboard. They will build their own little huts and their own little playhouses, their little hidey houses. And you don't have to feel like you always have to be entertaining your children. An important thing is to be able to have children that can bear boredom. Because when children can bear boredom, they're going to be able to have higher focus, higher attention spans, higher concentration. They're going to be able to use their imaginations and their creativity whenever they don't have something to do all the time. It's very important that you don't overstimulate your children with television and fancy toys. Let them bear boredom and let them create something out of nothing. My kids spend a lot of hours outside every day, so I don't only limit them to indoor activities. All seasons long, my children are outdoors. I don't provide toys for them. They create with whatever's out there in nature, with whatever's outside. It can be stuff with dirt, with sticks, with rocks, with anything. And sometimes I feel guilty. Just the other day, my kids were outside playing, and I thought, oh, honey, I was telling my husband, oh, honey, maybe I should go bring out the soccer net so that they can play soccer. And then when I look out the window, they were all playing hockey with the neighbors with a piece of ice, a block of ice. And they were out there for hours playing with a block of ice, playing hockey. So there you go. You don't have to give children anything because they will make their fun. And they will create from their own imaginations and their own creativity. Also, have a lot of books around your home because when you turn off the screens, children are going to be looking at these books. Just the other day, I found my 2-year-old who brought a plastic bin to my shower and sat there flipping through a little book. They flip through books all day long. They love looking at books and reading books because, again, I don't overstimulate them. I have books all around the house in little baskets. I have a bookshelf. And whenever they're bored, they go to the books and they love looking at all the different nature books and all the different books here in the home. So I hope you have gotten some good ideas from this video. Remember that during this time of coronavirus, a lot of you are indoors, a lot of you are on lockdowns. Try to get your children off the screens and provide all of the activities that I have here in this video, and also come up with your own. These are just some that I have provided here, but there are so many more ideas depending on your children's interest. Use this time to bond with your children, to create connections with your children. In the next video that I have coming up, I'm going to talk about why bonding and connection is so important to mold character and to influence your children's behavior in so many ways. So look forward to that video at the end of the month. Everything that I mentioned in the video is going to be linked below in the description box so that you can know where I got the thing. So if you're interested in getting it for you and your children. Also look at the workshop that I created for polymer clay. I think your kids will also love working with polymer clay. Polymer clay is a different type of clay because you have to bake it and you have to glaze it and do different things with it. So it takes a little bit more skill to know how to use it. I hope you like the tutorial. Let me know if you try it out. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Let me know what you do indoors. Give each other ideas. Go over to my community tab on YouTube. I have a community tab where you can leave all of your comments there. Until the next video. Bye-bye.